Bring her back to me. I ain't ready to see. Bring her back to me.
If you are catching up on extra lessons on One Africa TV's #LearnOnOne and you want to win a cool Holland hamper, then simply drop us a text on 555 and tell us your name, age, the town you live in, and your favorite #LearnOnOne subject. Easy, isn't it?
So I just send a text with my name, age, town, and my favorite #LearnOnOne subject to 555 and I can win a cool Hollard hamper?
Invite learning in today with #LearnOnOne and Hollard Life. Competition closes on 16 October 2020. Standard T's and C's and SMS rates apply. For more information, visit learnonone.org.
We've been drifting, lost at sea. You're so far.
Bring the family together with great specials. Like Koo baked beans in tomato sauce for only $10.49 and all gold tomato sauce for just $24.99.
I'll be your lighthouse and bring you back to me.
We're here for you.
Welcome, I'm Leonie Visser. I'm a teacher at St. Paul's College with 25 years experience in economics. If any student or teacher in Namibia need any help with any topic in economics, ordinary or AS level syllabus, they can visit our YouTube videos on the St. Paul's website, which is www.spcnan.org, and there you can follow the link to the specific topics that you experience trouble with. Please note that these videos are not the only way of studying economics. This is just what I have experienced success with, and that's why I want to share it with you. Good morning. Today we start with 3.3 on your syllabus, which is about price elasticity, and this is our lesson 21. If you look at 3.3, you will see that they only require from you to define price elasticity of demand and supply. Then they also want you to discuss and apply price elasticity of demand and supply. By that, we will use examples to show you how to calculate price elasticity of demand and supply, and then how to discuss the answers you got from this situations and this specific scenarios. So as we continue, we will do this as clear and as easy as possible. We just want to refresh your minds that you must remember what is an inferior good? An inferior good is good we can't go without, like bread in our country, or like maize, or like mango. That is for us an inferior good. Then we get a normal good. I always say in our country, meat is a normal good. Because the more our income get, or the more income we get, the more meat we will use. We will also sometimes replace it then with better types of meat, or say a fillet instead of a normal piece of meat that you use for a stew. Okay, and then we have luxury products. This is obviously products that we can go without, that we don't need, that we want. So in this case, you will see the example that I use is a flat screen TV. That means that you don't need that. Some people, it is just a small hint that I can offer you, and that you know what is inferior for me or what is luxury for me is not the same for you. It depends on our income group. So somebody that have really a lot of money, what is a luxury for him or what is inferior to him is totally different from what it is for me or what it is for you. So in a case of, say, a microwave, if you take a microwave, some people would say, I can't go without a microwave. A microwave is an inferior good for me. I'm too busy. I can't spend too much time in front of the stove and preparing food. That's why I need a microwave. Where others say, no, I can go without it. I don't really need it. It's a luxury for me. For the one person, it is an inferior good, and for the other person, or the person think it is an inferior good, and for the other person, they see it as a luxury good, a good that they can go without. Okay, then we start with what is price elasticity of demand. If I must give you a short definition, price elasticity of demand measure the responsiveness of demand to a change in price. That means, if your price changes, by how much will your demand change? Okay, how do one calculate it? You can see on the PowerPoint that you take the percentage change in quantity demand and you divide it by the percentage change in the price. If your answer that you get is smaller than 1, so say for example, like on the board or on your PowerPoint, it's say 0.75, then it means it's smaller than 1. Then for such a product, we will say it is inelastic. It is not very responsive to a change in price. And then if your answer is more than 1, so say 1.2 or 2.1, then you will say this is an elastic product. It means if your price changes by 10%, your demand will change by more than that, and that is say 15%. So very elastic. And then you also get, if your answer is equal to 1, we call it unit elasticity. What that means is, if the price change with 10, the demand will also change with 10%. Okay, a small hint for you, and very important, is you must remember what we have discussed in 3.2, the laws of demand. The laws of demand say if price increase, demand decrease. And the opposite is true. So very important for you. If we indicate the increase with a plus, and we indicate a decrease in demand with a minus, then you know from mathematics that a plus and a minus give you a minus. So in a case like that, you realize actually that all your answers for price elasticity of demand will have a minus sign in front of it. But we will ignore that. So we will always just work with the figure as if it is a positive figure. So don't sometimes or get confused and think, oh, but because the price increase and the demand decrease, it means now that my answer is negative and it is less than 1. We don't measure it in that way. We measure it as the number that it is without the plus and the minus in front of it. So please remember that when you do your calculations, don't get confused. Okay, we will also show you in the next slide some different graphs on price elasticity of demand. So if you look at the first graph is totally inelastic. So what that means, or they call it perfectly elastic, that vertical demand curve means that it doesn't matter what the price is. The price can be 10 or the price can be 2. The quantities stay exactly the same. So if you move to the next graph, you see this is a very inelastic. So that is an example of an inelastic price elasticity of demand. You will see this is a very steep curve, still moving down from the left to the right, but it's a very steep curve. Then the third diagram that you have show a unit elastic graph. So that is an example where you have a 10% increase on the one side and a 10% decrease on the other side, and your answer will always be equal to 1. So unit elasticity, a perfect 40-degree graph that you have there. And then the second last graph that you have is very elastic, moving down from the left to the right, but very elastic, not so steep, a relaxed. That is the way we can explain it. And then our last graph show a perfect elastic graph, and that is a totally horizontal graph. Now, this we will use later on if we discuss again the market types as we have explained. And then I will explain to you which market type have which type of graph. So that last graph, which is a horizontal graph and which they call a perfect elastic graph, it means the price stay the same. Like in a perfect competitive market, the price is the price of the market. The price stay the same. It doesn't matter if they sell 10 products or 15 products. No influence on the price in a really perfect competitive market. Okay, now you can ask the questions, what influence that one product is more elastic than another product? So what influenced the demand? In a case, you remember in the previous lessons, we have discussed what a substitute good is. A substitute good is where you can replace this good for the other good. You remember like butter and margarine. So the availability of a substitute good. So if you, for example, say, I don't want to drink bottled water anymore. I'm not going, if I go to a restaurant, I'm not going to drink bottled water. But you actually don't have the option in our town to do that because we don't have substitutes of clean water coming from the tap. So that is why I can say if there is the availability of a substitute is a problem, then I have no choice other than buying the bottled water. So in a case like that, it doesn't matter if the price decrease of bottled water and if the price increase of bottled water. If you want water, you will buy that bottle of water if you can't get clean water, which is not in a bottle. Okay, so in a case like that, if the substitute isn't available, then your product demand is very inelastic. They can change the price, they can increase the price, you will still buy it. Then the second point, if it is habit forming. So people that are addicted to cigarettes, for example, or addicted to alcohol, the price can increase for this product, but people will still buy the product. So in a case like that, it's also very inelastic. They increase the price, people will buy more or less the same, nearly the same, because they feel they can't go without it. Then a luxury good. How will a luxury good react? You know now what a luxury good is, a good we can go without. So if the price increase, we will just stop buying the product. If the price decrease, we will buy a lot of that products. You will see on Black Friday at game stores, then suddenly people buy all this luxury products, which they normally can't afford because the price dropped a lot on Black Friday. Then we have normal goods and services. If the price increase, you will buy less of it. If the price decrease, you will buy more of it, but it will be in the same ratio. The demand will change in the same ratio. And then a necessity or an inferior good, as we know it so far. This is a good that are very inelastic. Doesn't matter if they increase the price, we will still buy the bread or buy the maize or buy the mango. Where for a luxury good, it's very elastic. We will just stop buying it because we don't need it really. Okay, and then the last one, the percentage that this good or service that you are calculating the price elasticity of, the percentage of your income that is spent on that good or service. So if it is, for example, fuel, and you save for transport, or let us rather say it is, for example, transport, and your transport cost is mostly the fuel you pay to get, to fill up your car, to get from your house to your work and to do your job. So that fuel, if the price of that fuel increase, it will influence you a lot. Why? Because that fuel take up a huge percentage of your income. So if you say, for example, you can use this for fuel or transport, or you can use it for your taxi fees, or you can use it for water and electricity. These are expenses that take up a huge percentage of your income. So if the price changes only by a little bit, say like 10% or 5%, it will affect you a lot. Because then you must take from your other income that is left and cut from that expenses to pay the fuel or pay the water and electricity. So in a case like that, those products is very, in a case, it will affect you very much because it takes up such a big percentage. So you will react immediately, and I can say it will be a very elastic demand. But if you spend once a month on a box of matches that costs you 50 cents, and now they tell you the matches increase by 100%, it costs now $1 a box of matches. Will it really bother you? If you earn, say, for example, 20,000, what is $1 from 20,000? Very little. So in a case like that, it doesn't matter that the matches increase with 100%. You are still buying that matches because it takes up such a small percentage of your income. But if your expense, like your fuel, take up, say, $2,000 of your 20,000, and that increase with 10%, then it will affect you, and your demand will drop for that because you cannot afford the same amount. Okay, now further on, which is very important. You remember I've said price elasticity of demand is to measure the responsiveness, how demand reacts when there's a change in price. Now, you can ask yourself the question, or we can ask the question, why do firms, like say for example Woermann and Brock, why do they need to understand and to know price elasticity of demand? Because if they increase the price of their product, or if they decrease the price of their products, they will then know how their sales will change. The demand for their products will change. They will then know by how their revenue will change, how their profits will change, and then they will also know if my sales increase a lot because of this small change in decrease in the price, then I must also have more stock in my store. So it's not only for the manager important to understand this, if he decrease the price or if he increase the price, how it affects his sales, how it affects his revenue at the end, and how it will affect the amount of stock that he must keep in his store. Okay, I've gave you, if you look at the PowerPoint, you will see that I've give you answers of different products. The first one is furniture, then cars, and then professional services, and I've gave you the answers of the price elasticity of demand. And I've also done it for water, electricity, tobacco, and petrol. So I want you to sit in groups and discuss that answers. Do you really think that the answer I've given you is a clear indication in our country of that product? Is it true? Do you think in our country people will react like that to electricity or water or to petrol? And why is that the case? So that is something for you group to discuss and to compare the answers of your group with the other groups in the class.
aye, aye, ah, aye, aye, ah, aye. Steve Biko said, black man, you are on your own. Aye, ah, aye. Mother Africa, tell me what happened to your sacred stone. Aye, ah, aye. We are not living right, pretending to be happy when we're all alone. Aye, ah, aye. Don't care about no one, it's me, my cash, my car, and my cellular phone. Aye, ah, aye. Relata gilowe, relata gilowe, relata gilowe, relata gilowe. Said music is the weapon of the future. You've got to be a student and not just a teacher. Everybody's talking money, money, or trying to cheat, yeah. To see the preacher. So tell me, my friend, how is the spirit gonna reach ya? She's a black woman. What is she gonna do? Yes, I'm a black man. And me and you are you. Black man. There's a lot more to do. Black man. Who's gonna take care of my children if I don't do? It's either freedom for all or no freedom at all. Freedom for all or no freedom at all. It's either freedom for all or no freedom at all. Either freedom for all or no freedom at all. Freedom.
Win free airtime with hashtag #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. Hashtag #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.